Ugly, brazen, toxic, wretched. Ugh. Ogre rutting, bescumbering, rancid, homely, noisome. Kitten strangling, poxy, doltish. Ugh. Halitosis, slack-jawed, vacant-eyed. I'm gonna pop up, take your clothes. Badly dressed. Badly dressed, let me tell you. Oh, yeah, I'm coming for you. I think she's gonna come. Fine, take the
Let me take the passes! My armies are in place!
We do that, we provoke the orcs.
And we'll strangle overland trade!
Let them be provoked! I'll crush them beneath my armored heel!
You haven't fit in that armor in centuries, Walrus Gut.
I can still command Knob Chewer.
There's still a chance we can eliminate the Chosen One without sparking a larger conflict.
Prepare to be amazed, but I actually agree with Gravy Chins.
Victory!
Your assassins had her chance. And more than one. Honestly, how often do we allow multiple attempts? This is no time to be timid. Under no circumstances can the Chosen One be allowed to bring the sword into the Wicked Kingdoms.
Seconded. Are we in agreement?
Verily!
Lock down the passes. The Yellow Robe is to be killed on sight.
Oh, poor perf.
What? Who's there?
Is this still... Oh, you idiots!
Who left the orb on?
Chamberlain, how long has this thing been on?
Since yesterday, my king, when you decided...
Oh, so it's your fault.
Don't you get sassy with me, wench. I will rip those extensions right out.
Can we please just kill the eavesdropper?
Agreed.
No go. We're just lying there like a frozen piece of meat.
Like my wife on our wedding night.
Oh, sing!
Oh!
That's not good. Ooh, I think I might be... Yeah.
You know, I think we should have taken a left like a mile back. Oh, nope. You were right. Again.
Ogres. At the bridge up ahead.
Oh.
But no, I speak Ogreish. I can negotiate.
By all that is good and holy, do not let him assist.
I'll find us a way around. Stay here. I mean it.
Three, two... Yep.
What a tragic combination of potent magic and poor impulse control.
They're going to have scones.
And you are going to have a headache worthy of a legend.
The bear said the exact same thing. Are you friends?
Sorry, I can't talk to you. I'm on an epic, you see?
Hey, those are mine.
She's really quite awful at this.
Hey! Hey, I am right here. Talk to me. Don't just be a puppet of the guild.
But that's what we all are, yourself included. Do you like my red shoes?
This doesn't feel right.
This scene is getting stale. It's probably crossed 4 pages already. Don't you do rewrites? Come, friend, and join me on this epic. Let us escape this sad specimen of feckless flailing failure, and other alliterations as well.
Wait! Don't leave me! Everyone ends up alone. Oh, I didn't see you there. Why would I do that? Why do worms come up when it rains? Why can I see your spleen? Why get... You're right. I should keep moving.
Not really a word for hello, is there?
You peto now!
Maybe we could come to some other arrangement. Oh, that doesn't translate at all.
You peto now!
You said you spoke Ogreish.
I do. It's not exactly a language that's suited to negotiation. It's mostly about violence and feces.
Stinkpot! You peto now!
Wow, there's the pot calling the kettle stank. You smell like incontinent corpse worms, and I don't even have a nose.
He didn't. Of course he did.
I smell like flour in a spring meadow!
Yeah, the toll.
10 gold. Each! That's 1, and then 2.
Quick, while he's distracted by math.
Cross the bridge!
Hey, he did a thing! Huh? Like when that guy did the what? What you talk? What? You know, that with the...
Is that your new spell? What did you...
Vague.
We did the thing with the that! You sound like dumb. I make you head go face!
I told you I could handle it.
You are where heroism goes to die.
Oh, don't go. You'll never come back.
Bring her in.
Might as well. Come on, girl.
talk to me. Don't just be a puppet of the guild.
Sorry.
Still rolling one more.
Getting to join the JourneyQuest cast was really exciting for me, but it was also made me very nervous because I was coming into a role that had been already established by Anne Kennedy Brady, who's an awesome actress, and particularly because this group of people, everyone is such a close-knit group, so I definitely had a sense coming in that I was joining a team of people who had a long sort of history together and had really established a rapport, and obviously had a lot of fans who were hugely invested in these characters, so I felt a big sense of responsibility, and I was really nervous on the first day. Because everyone is so warm and welcoming, and Anne was actually on set with us for the first 5 days of shooting or so she and I got to spend a lot of time together talking about the character and sort of bringing me into the fold a little bit. It was a really great kind of introduction to the shooting experience. And honestly, this role has just been like my dream role, so it's been a real, I don't know, a real treat to get to play this character. I had seen a bit of JourneyQuest, but I hadn't watched the full 2 first seasons until Christian called me up to ask me if I'd be interested in this role, which I was very much, and I went home immediately and watched all of the first 2 seasons in a row, just straight through, a couple of times actually, just to immerse myself in the part. By the time I got to that audition with Christian, I was just soaked in JourneyQuest.
But the thing about the potions and being high about them is that it's something we've been thinking about actually for quite a while. I think it was my very first day on set for the very first shoot of season 1 actually. We shot the piece where Ren runs away, falls on her satchel, and gets high. So we had already shot it 6 years ago. So I had kind of already thought about it, and it was much more of like a, I don't know, just like really giggly, I don't know, I didn't really think about like, because I don't know what potion high is like. I mean, maybe it's like all kinds of things. Maybe it's just like a sugar rush, pixie sticks up the nose or whatever, which would actually make a lot of sense for Ren. This time, going back, it was completely different because instead of being in the middle of the woods, I was on a green screen and flying around. I think the weirdness of the situation actually lent itself pretty well. And Christian standing off to the side and saying things like, "There's a dragon! Try and catch the dragon!"
So there were a lot of challenges to editing the drug trip that Ren goes on in this episode. The first challenge, of course, is anytime you work with green screen, finding the right take for the actor to really make the story work. When you're at the editing phase, you don't have any VFX, so you're kind of in the same boat that the actor is, where you're not editing against anything. You're editing against the sort of the ghost of something that hasn't appeared yet. The biggest challenges, I think, overall, were finding the right beats and finding the right cuts without having the entire world created around the green screen yet.
So the interesting thing about this situation was that it was more than just having to draw on my imagination. It was more than just being like, oh, when this is finished, I know there's going to be a big castle in the background, and here I am. You know, maybe there is a dragon or whatever if we continue with our dragon theme. For this one, I had no idea what the actual trip out was going to look like. The script says something like, Ren floats in a sea of stars, or something like that. And I'm like, what does that mean? Am I going to be like the center of a whirling thing? Like, I had no clue. It's a trip out. Ren oohs and ahs and travels through time and space.
Emily was great. She did a great job of really sort of telegraphing what the scene was about, but finding the proper way to cut around a world that's not there is always challenging.
With the scene where Silver Tom and the bear go skipping off and Ren is left on her own and she's talking to someone and we see there's clearly nobody there. Again, from the script, I didn't know if there was anybody specific. It was kind of up to me to just sort of decide who I was chatting with. So I just took it as, you know, a person of her imagining. And that is the way it was filmed. I think probably for 2 takes. I was told a couple of takes in who I'm talking with, and I won't say who it is, but it changed everything. And then it changed nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like I had the, like, Emily being surprised and me like, oh, this changes how I'm going to react. And I did a take like that. And then I was like, nah, it really doesn't. Because Ren is still who she is, and she's still in the state and all of this stuff.
We didn't have several of the costume pieces we needed for those scenes, which ended up being a good thing because it meant that we had to cut out a bunch of that ogre scene. I was, honestly, day 1 was by far, on location, which was technically day 2, was by far the hardest day for me. Just because it felt like everything was going wrong. We were always running out of daylight the entire day, and all I saw was the fact that I had to do this 15 more times over the next 3 weeks, and that it probably was going to be terrible. And we were filming in a park, and they closed the park at a certain time, and they put up these barricades that are in the ground that pop up at a certain time. And the maintenance man came to pop up the barricades while we were in the middle of shooting a scene, and I, not wanting to miss out on what little time we had left, may have gotten in my car and driven very quickly to the end of the park and parked my car over one of those barricades to keep them from putting it up. I'm not super proud of it, but I was kind of at the end of my rope at that point that day, and it was the only thing I could think of to save what we had left. We got that scene. It looks great.